Is Shawna Brown, and I am an attorney at Mandelbaum Barrett in the Elder Law and Trust and Estates departments. And I'm so excited today to put the attorney spotlight on my colleague, Nicole English, who is an attorney in our Trust and Estates department, specializing in estate planning and estate administration. And she is based in our Connecticut office. Nicole, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. Happy to join you.
So, Nicole has a wealth of education and experience in fields other than what she's doing now in the Trust and Estates Department. And those all led to her role at Mandelbaum Barrett. So, she started as a college student with a very different idea of what her career would be. And she shared her career journey with me recently. And I just love how she was so honest with herself every step of the way about what she wanted and what her goals were, and how that resulted in ending up with a career here that she really loves. So, Nicole, why don't you tell us and our viewers about your career path and how you got to this part of your journey?
Absolutely. So I studied mass communication in college, and at the time, I wanted to pursue a career in journalism or PR, specifically fashion journalism. Spring semester, I had the opportunity to intern in the fashion closet at a prestigious and high-end fashion magazine in New York City. I was thrilled and super excited about the opportunity, but my experience at this company was like the movie The Devil Wears Prada. So in the end, I realized that fashion journalism slash PR was not for me. A year later, I went to graduate school thinking that I would get an MBA and somehow find my way ultimately in finance. But after my first semester, I reconsidered my decision because I couldn't see myself sitting behind a desk all day crunching numbers. So I pivoted and I switched to the Master of Public Administration and Health Services Management program. I enjoyed the program and the courses. Classes that I took covered healthcare law and ethics, financial and operations management, HR, IT, and other related healthcare topics. And my last semester, I interned in the administration departments in a nursing home and was then offered a full-time position as an assistant administrator. So I worked there for 2 years, and during that time, I learned a lot about the healthcare system, developed a passion for working with elderly people, and got some experience working with healthcare attorneys. I was considering obtaining a license to become a nursing home administrator, but I wanted experience working in a hospital first. So I left and I worked at a hospital at the IT campus for 6 years as an HR specialist. Working for a hospital in the HR department, I had to be knowledgeable about employment laws and healthcare regulatory laws. So the decision to go to law school was a natural progression for me. So I went to law school thinking I would work in-house at a hospital or some type of healthcare facility. I would ultimately do compliance or regulatory affairs. At the time, I never saw myself working in a law firm. But the summer before my last year of law school, I tried to get an internship at the hospital where I was working. And unfortunately, the COVID pandemic caused the hospital and many other healthcare facilities to suspend their internship programs. But I needed an internship. So what was I going to do? My second interest was trust and estates. And in the summer of 2021, I interned at a T&E firm in New Jersey. I learned a lot and I loved the work that I did. So fast forward to the week before graduation, I was offered a T&E position at a firm in New York. And I was super excited about this opportunity. But on the first day, I was told that they made a mistake and they placed me in the commercial finance real estate department. I stayed for 8 months, hoping that I would develop an interest in real estate. Never quite happened. So I got an opportunity to do estate administration, corporate law, and a little bit of real estate law at another firm. And so I stayed there for about a year and a half, but I really wanted to get experience doing estate planning. And I joined the Teenie department at Ivy Barnum O'Mara, which is now Mandelbaum Barrett PC. And my current practice areas include estate planning and estate administration, and I absolutely love the work that I do.
Well, I love that story. And I think it's so amazing how, you have experience in so many different fields that I'm sure have helped you, in your current position. But I would love to know, like, what drew you to trust and estates law? What made you want to practice in that area?
Sure. So T&E work centers on helping families plan for death, incapacity, and legacy. And in this field, you can build long-term relationships with clients across generations. So this was kind of similar to my experience working in the nursing home. And while estate planning is not only for elderly people, many of our clients are seniors, and I have a passion for working with them. Also, estate planning requires drafting and writing documents. And as I mentioned before, I studied journalism and PR, so I like writing.
What kind of work are you doing now in the Trust and Estates Department? Are you primarily focused on estate planning?
So I do estate planning and estate administration. For estate planning, a large part of my job is helping clients structure plans for how their property will pass after death to family members or other beneficiaries. So that includes drafting wills, creating different types of trust, preparing power of attorneys, preparing living wills and other health directives, and structuring plans to reduce estate and gift taxes. For estate administration, that includes advising fiduciaries on their legal duties, getting wills admitted to probate when necessary, marshaling assets and doing asset valuations, paying debts and taxes, and distributing assets to beneficiaries. Overall, T&E attorneys help people plan their legacy, protect their families financially, and make sure assets transfer smoothly after death.
From your previous roles have turned out to be valuable in your current role here at Mandelbaum Barrett?
Well, several skills from my previous roles have carried over into my current position. One of the most valuable has been attention to detail. In my earlier work, I regularly handled documents and information where accuracy was critical, and that habit of carefully reviewing materials has been quite helpful in my current role. Another important skill has been client communication. As a T&E attorney, I have to explain complex information clearly to clients and manage expectations. And I also developed organization and time management skills. Managing multiple priorities in my earlier roles helped me to learn how to structure my work and meet deadlines, which is essential in my current position.
Having multiple prior roles before you came here, how does that change the way or affect the way that you approach problem solving and decision making?
So having multiple prior roles has helped me approach problem solving with a broader perspective. Each position exposed me to different workflows, priorities, and ways of thinking. So when I face a problem now, I tend to evaluate it from several angles rather than jumping to the first solution.
And what was the hardest part for you about switching roles and directions multiple times?
The hardest part is the unknown. So that's acclimating to a new work environment, meeting new people, and getting past the learning curve. It can also be intimidating going to a new place, having the least amount of experience in comparison to everyone else. But we have an amazing team here at Mandelbaum Barrett. Everyone is incredibly smart, supportive, and professional, and provides me with the daily motivation to do my best.
Well, this is great, and we're so excited to have Nicole as part of our team in our department and at the firm. And it just goes to show that we're attorneys on the surface, but we all come from kind of unique professional backgrounds and educational backgrounds that have allowed us to develop skills to help our clients. So we're excited to help anyone who needs help with estate planning and administration here at Mandelbaum Barrett, either me or Nicole or other members of our team.